So, the complete set of matches we're going to be having, then we're going to be having EuE, which I do not know who. Wait. Oh, actually, wait. Let me. Oh, okay. I got this. Let's go check out real quick the players, see what's actually going to go on. So, for the teams that are going to be playing into the matches, here you have all the teams: Euro Elite, Spain versus VG, Merciless Rising, and Balkan THC Family. That is Binny's Guild. So once again, bias casting coming up. Merciless Grind, Eminence Grease, 3XK, which is a French guild I haven't seen in actual ages, and Imperative that we saw a few days back in the Cryptic Premier League. They're going to be playing. And the first
there's
match...
a few different teams from the last guild. So it's interesting.
Gonna have to see which team is gonna be able to take the first spot today. But yeah, so for the first match, it will be Euro Elite up against TESP 2, but the players are just not shown into my view. Where are they? Huh. Interesting.
What's this?
TESP 2. I don't know who TESP 2 is. TESP 2. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't believe I've heard of that guild before.
I don't know. Well, like it's just like a shortened out name, but I cannot actually see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, is this stream still offline or what the fuck? Okay, no, we are actually live. We are actually live. So sorry for all of that, but we are just waiting now to jump into the draft. And yeah, we are now in queuing. Okay, so once again, I apologize for all the issues that were popping up. But there you got all the players, and the overlays that were messed up.
Oh.
Boom.
Now we seem to be struggling to get into the actual...
No, matchmaking is longer in private games. No, makes sense, right?
Yeah, it really is.
Okay, so once again, if you did just join us, welcome to the Merciless Battles by MLG. Once again, a Vainglory guild in the European server of Vainglory. And if you're looking for a nice family-friendly guild, definitely don't hesitate to go check it out. I think that we have socials popping up in the chat and everything. So we should be all good with this. Cabez Pro. Okay, we have apparently a player with a few issues. That is disconnecting and reconnecting, so we'll just try and jump in that game as soon as we do actually have the time. Sorry, so now I'm focused. Like, I got everything set up. I can talk about the draft that happened a little bit early on when we were hoping to not have any crashes or issues. So can you tell me what specific picks you saw and what picks do you think are going to be very important in this matchup?
Okay, so often Churn Walker I find is an interesting hero. It can be countered really easily, and in certain games, if against lots of ranged heroes, it's actually really hard to pull off. But in this particular game, the Churn Walker is playing against a Grumpjaw and a Finn and a Jewel. That's 3 melee heroes, and you've also against an Adagio who's often likes to get in melee range to apply his fire, gift of fire and stuff. So I think the Churn Walker is going to be really good in this game because he's in a good matchup. So that will be something to worry about for the B side, which is the Spanish VG team, I think.
I do really like the Churn Walker. Like, I would actually like to see a jungle Churn Walker. It's got played a little bit by some players like I Can Help You, also been played by Leon recently. What do you think of jungle Churn Walker right now? Like, do you think it's more of a troll pick, or do you think it's actually
personally viable? Yeah, I don't particularly like it at all. Jungle right now, I feel like these roam junglers, like we've seen a lot of recently in previous patches of 5v5, is when you'd be camping the lane, you'd have your hyper carry bot lane, which you'd be helping the whole time. But this most recent patch, you see the jungler rotating around. He's now claiming both top side and bot side of the jungle, and I just think damage dealers and junglers who are good at getting ganks off are much more effective right now. But there is still Churn Walker is useful when you're playing with something like a Gwen or a Baron, like a hyper carry bot lane, and you help them out a lot through lane phase, because that's often can be a time where the enemies will be trying to focus them down and shut them down. So there is still perks to having that support in jungle.
It does really help you out on the late game. Like, I think more aggressive and gank potential heroes, like for example in our jungle, Tony. I would like to see Tony personally. All those kind of heroes are a lot more interesting played in that jungle position than Chunwalker. Like Chunwalker's a hero though that he can, if he gets ahead, deal a lot of damage with his can chain. I think it's a little bit overlooked. But anyways, we're now into the draft. They did draft earlier, so they got a clear idea of what they're going for. And once again, on the A side, we're going to be having the team. Let me just choose seconds. Boom. On the A side is going to be the side of Europe. Europe. Oh, man, I lost the team there. Oh my god. This is going downhill real fast. Okay, so I got it here. So we have then on the A side it will be Euro Elite, and the drafter got dodged again. It's definitely not our lucky day, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we'll just go we'll just look at it here. So Euro Elite with Lars, Camp Geist, Stackle Panzer, Bra, Okonoko, Cabis, Majaki, and DevDNS, I guess that's how you say it. And so that's going to be the first side. And on the second side, we're going to be having Spain versus VG. Going to be composed of Peter Samba, Chica Curva, Humanito 71, Decembril, Shaskone, Angel, Lemanuski, and Makel. So these are all going to be all the players we're going to be having for the first matchup right now.
And yeah, so for that first team, I do believe I know a few of the names in that guild, but I know them more as 3v3 players rather than 5v5 players. Statual Planzer and Mac Jake. I believe Statual Planzer was actually a VG Gold in 3v3 recently. So it'll be interesting to see him transfer over to 5v5, where I haven't seen him play that much.
Yeah, like after 3v3, like the meta in 3v3 is really relying around heroes that can just completely stomp your game. Like, I think heroes like Reza must be easily, with probably Anchor, dominate that game, because if you can just delete the enemy backline in 3v3, you're just going to win the fight most of the time, because that's where most of your damage comes out from. So I think that those kind of heroes are a lot more reliant. So maybe he's going to try and play those hard-hitting carry heroes. I'm not really too sure. Is that the kind of heroes do you actually see him play in game or not?
Statual fans that I've seen play. I believe he's a laner, so I think we'll see him in either bot lane or the mid lane. And I know he's a very good Celeste, and they have in fact picked the Celeste in their draft. So I have a feeling that we'll be seeing him playing the Celeste. So that'll be interesting to see how he does in the mid lane.
Yeah, it would be nice to see him play that mid lane position. So man, I just don't know what really happened in draft. I didn't have time to see everything, and so it's so rip actually. But once again, guys, if you did just join, welcome to the Merciless Battles. It is a King of the Hill tournament format that we're playing right now, joined by my boy Benny right here. And we're just going to be trying to relaunch the game. We had an unfortunate dodge earlier that I had to dodge because the PC client is still bugged under Steam, which is a big issue, and I hope that Vainglory will try and fix in the near future. So I had to go back over to the good old reliable iPad, and now we had another dodge. Seems like a player's having an issue on the side of Euro Elite. Let's just hope they can actually get back into the game so we can actually start and have some gameplay, because so far you've been only hearing my annoying voice and Benny's very, very enthusiastic voice style of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure why we're doing the draft again. Like, we've already
just do blind.
We should just do blind.
Yeah, I'll just tell them to do blind. Good point. Good point right there. But yeah, also like Sanfeng, I think it got banned if I'm not mistaken on the A side.
That was the first ban.
Okay,
along with the second ban was then the Yates.
Yeah. Sanfeng is like an insta ban anyways. Like, just take him away. God damn it. He's like.
Well, right now.
Yeah.
There's some some of the top lane picks: Sangfeng, Adagio, Grumpjewel, Lance, and Jewel. All of those were picked or banned in this game, and they're like right now. There's some very strong picks in top lane, and they get played in all of the many different positions as well. So yeah, it's interesting how this role has suddenly, in the recent updates, has like stepped up. I myself am a top laner, so I'm quite happy with where the meta is right now.
Personally, you said Sanfeng in top lane. He's a decent top laner, but I think he's better in jungle. Well, I don't know what you think about that, but I think he's way better as a jungler, because he's got that Tiger's Bridge A ability. Gives him a lot more potential to close the gap. Sorry, On the lane, you're actually trying to like hit that gank on, and then you pair it up with your B. If you get a 1.2 second stun, that's really good, because 1.2 second stun level 1 is like such a good ability to have when you want to try and gank early on. So I personally prefer seeing a Sanfeng in that jungle position, but top lane he can almost like out trade anyone, because he's got that fortified health on every single ability he dashes out, and then he's got that extra freaking damage output from the Divine Fist on that B ability. You just can't out trade a Sanfeng that actually hits his abilities. And if you get that extra 1.2 second stun, is like a cherry on top of the cake. You just can't beat it.
Yeah, when you're a jungler and I'm top lane, we've both been playing it lots recently. It's just such a strong pick. It can work anywhere, really. I've seen people play it mid lane and roam, and it's just and it doesn't even matter what you build half the time as well. Like if you can go full tank and you're still just doing insane amounts of damage. So yeah, he's very strong. Like I particularly like jungle. When I've played him jungle, I love ganking mid lane, because if you're playing against something like a Lorelei or a Scarf or Samuel, you can like run into the goop or into the fish food, like purposefully use your A and then instantly jump and stun. So it's like you've just got like a guaranteed stun almost if you're playing against certain heroes which are doing damage over time. So yeah,
Does this Tiger's
so
Bridge actually work on like if you go into a goop? Like for example, if you like, does it actually proc it?
Yeah.
Because it's indirect damage. Because I think I
yeah.
already worked and like walked in that and I didn't activate it. Not sure.
Well, I know for like if I see a Lorelei fish food has been used, I'll run into that, use my A, and then just instantly stun.
I'm sure I did that and it didn't work for me. Or maybe I'm just like completely imagining things, but I don't remember like that working for me because it's like indirect damage. But oh well, maybe it did and I just didn't.
I've played quite a lot of it, and I'm pretty sure that I've managed to pull that off.
Oh, so. Okay. I guess I'll give it another try. Maybe I was a bit drunk that day. I don't know what was going on. Okay. Like it's definitely good to like also plan something in heroes like Celeste, also Scarf. Like heroes you can really predict where they're gonna hit down their abilities, their skill shots. Yeah. You can just soak it up with your fortified health and then just re-engage with a 1.2 second stun on valuable targets such as Baron, like Celeste, all those kind of high value targets is really efficient. So you can try and go for that. Also, which is really weird, they're not nerfing Sanfeng in 4.1.
Yeah, when it came out for the patch notes, it's apparently he's untouched, which is because we're talking about his A and B abilities, and then he's also got this huge global, I mean not global, this huge ultimate, which it's a massive AOE stun. Like, of course, it's very easy to block, but if you wait out all the blocks, suddenly you can just turn the team fight around.
I really think his ultimate is like the less OP thing of his kit, and people are still crashing. Apparently, we have people just crashing all the time. Just gonna say, keep people updated in chat because you do have a 1 minute delay. So just to avoid any kind of cheating and eavesdropping.
So looking at these drafts, I think the B side they've got some pretty strong early game picks with the Grumpjaw, the Adagio mid lane. So it looks like they'll be trying to get a lead through those two. And then they've got the Baron and Jewel late game, who are very strong late game. So they've basically got these first two picks to try and get a lead, and then give Baron and Jewel time to get online, and then they can really take over in the late game team fights. So
like you talked about the Adagio taking that early lead. Adagio, even if you play in that roam position, because as of right now, we're not really too sure about what position they're going to play each hero in. Like, I think we can have a pretty close idea, as Benny is telling you guys right now on stream. But like even Adagio, if you play it roam with just utility items in the mid lane, he will still early games for like until maybe like around level 4, 5, 6, still out trade most heroes by the simple fact he's got range, self-sustain, and extra damage from his Agent of Wrath B ability. All of that paired up together, and if you paired up with a hard hit in the mid laner, you can just completely out-trade any single mid laner. So it's really easy to pull off in the mid lane. So Adagio is definitely a really good hero if you want to try and get that good advantage. After pairing it up with the other hero that has a good early game, it's really good. For example, Meline or Celeste or other heroes. Once again, the draft is here, so they do have the Finn Wisdom, so if they want to pair that up, like Finn is pretty tanky, really hard wall to actually get through, so it's going to be interesting how they actually go through it. But finally, ladies and gentlemen, we are now entering game number 1 of this King of the Hill tournament. It took a lot of time, once again, apologies for that. But game number 1 is going to be Euro Elite versus Spain versus the G. Too many verses in one sentence right there. But yeah, like you talked about it a little bit earlier, but I'd like if you could reiterate your point on this. Which team do you think is going to be taking the advantage in this game, Benny, and why?
I really like Euro Elite's side, their draft. They've got good, like I said at the start, they've got good front line with Churn Walker and Lance. They've got an assassin with Reza to get onto that Baron. And then they've got two strong carries in Gwen and Celeste. It's just a really well-rounded comp, which I like a lot.
Okay, yeah, I'm a big fan of it too. Like, also, they did nerf Gwen, and I think that's for a reason. Like, she's extremely powerful. Even though people do build it with the Poison Shift Gwen, that I just completely... I hate that. Actually, what's your point on Poison Shift Gwen? What do you think of that?
No, I just like it. It doesn't suit this playstyle at all of the hero.
Okay, so it's not just me.
No.
Yeah. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the merciless battles. We are now into game number 1 of this King of the Hill type tournament. I'm going to be joined once again by Benny. I'm your host, Maxman, bringing you the action through casting and the stream, and also doing like all the camera stuff. So like a lot of work here. And also, sorry for the issues we had early on in the stream. This should be taken care of right now. We shouldn't have any extra issues showing up. And like touch wood, I hope I'm not going to jinx it. But anyways, we are now into the game with the A side. Is going to be then Euro Elite against Spain versus VG. So anyways, we are right into the game, and first matchup down team right now in the ball is going to be Gwen versus this Jewel. And talked about Jewel, how she was like an extremely good top laner. Trading off potential early on, completely going to be taking down Gwen. Gwen just can't trade out. And really interestingly enough, it seemed like Lomanowski on this Gwen is actually trying to force push this lane right now. And that against the Gwen, I think it's just trying to like freeze your lane early on.
Well, it's interesting. He's actually starting off with, a lot of the time you see either two weapon blades or weapon blade and eulogies, but he started off twirling silver. I mean, not twirling, with a shooter in this matchup, which I find interesting for the first two players. So yeah, the Jewel is definitely taking over with Crystal Bit.
Crystal Bit, and also the
already hit level 2.
Sustain.
Yeah. So right now you can see, yeah, Jewel definitely has had free push in this lane. But there is a Reza just up there who might be looking for a gank soon.
Yeah, I think he's going to try and rotate.
There is some vision.
Yeah, Lomanowski is pretty far.
He's got his vision, and he's got his rocket leap.
Yeah, he's got the rocket leap. He's going to be just fine if he's able to just jump out of it. We are 2 minutes in. Seems like there's a little bit of action towards the mid lane though. Adaji, Humanito, you know, to like.
Yeah, that Adajo's early game strength is doing pretty well, but the Reza does come in. Yes, it is Satchel Panzer on that Celeste picking up the first.
Will be able to get first blood going over to the team of Euro Elite. Humanito going to be a little bit low. They might want to be careful. We talked earlier about the damage of a Reza. Just going to be able to get an easy shutdown. Second kill going over to the side of Euro Elite. And the top lane, we have this one-on-one matchup of Lance versus the Baron. And Baron going to be popping the flask up against that. And Impale, just got to be careful. That's
so yeah, both
an interesting matchup.
Yeah, Baron. Like, generally Lance should have a fairly good time against Baron early game. This Baron's actually doing pretty well.
And Flask was used on both sides also, so December was definitely able to win off that trade-off, which is really weird. But also did have Brass that was the Weapon Blade and the Book of Eulogies, where December used the same build-up, so sustain-wise they're on the same even
I was looking and I've seen Lance miss a couple of impales, so that is always pretty bad. If you're missing those impales on Lance, it's really tough. We've got the Grumpjaw and the Reza. Grumpjaw will always come ahead at this stage of the game.
It's going to be pretty far ahead. Like, Grumpjaw's just in this update is just so tanky and early on, deals so much freaking damage, just can't really deal with it. Now the mid lane core collapse does connect on Humanito. Going to be using his boost to try and run away, gets the next basic attack, pops the Flask. It will just not be enough, and he's going to be picked up by Panzer on this Celeste pickup. Talked about how Celeste is really solid in this mid lane position, and if we can get ahead, Celeste is definitely a really hard foe to deal with later on in this game of 5v5.
Yeah, it is very good. And just now I was watching the bot lane going on, and Jewel had a big engage and nearly killed the Gwen. She had to pop a flask, but she just managed to escape. So Jewel's having a great time right now.
So much work with the Celeste. That's Humanito going to be rotating his way over. He is going for a weapon dodge on this point, so interesting to see how he's going to actually work this one through, but which is like also still pretty weird because like Finn is already around the corner, got to try and stick to your lane a little bit more. But yeah, so weapon, like, seems like he's going and committing for weapon Adagio in the mid lane.
Yeah.
I don't really know how this is going to really work out. Like, what's your
on that.
expectation on this Adagio pickup in the, like, weapon-wise in the mid?
Well, weapon Adagio is a very strong laner, and he's, as you can see, he's already 0-2. He's having a tough time, so that's not looking great for the red side. But the red side are actually winning both their side lanes right now. So we're in a which the side lanes are doing well, but mid lane is really crushing it right now with that select. So they're a 2k gold lead already.
Yeah, already at that 2,000 goal lead going up the side. Sorry, up the side of Euro Elite. And look at that. Baron just completely shredding down Bra on this lance pickup. Not really able to do much. They does have 3 weapon blades up his sleeves, but still just not enough to go up against December. Does have then that heavy steal at this point in time, and it's just going to be doing an insane amount of damage. And this is just early game Baron. If Baron is really a threat for you early on, I just can't even imagine when you're going to get to like 15-minute mark. As you need to go for the 1v2. Can he pick a kill? Core collapse fits the finishing blow for Panzer. And now Gromjaw around the corner, going to try and close the gap. But he's only level 5 and doesn't have the stuffed ultimate available, and will just be going to put itself back to the safety of his mid lane turret. But still, like, yeah, as you mentioned earlier, like the 2 like side lanes are being won by the red side. It's really surprising for the Baron, but like duel against Gwen early on, not really surprising. Also, you do have that extra armor and shield early on because of the passive of Jewel, so he's just able to take up a lot more damage out. Like damage has been dashed out by Lars. He's just going to be going in, pull the jump on the right engagement. Right next to turret, just take 1 turret shot there, but still really nice match coming out from the red side. Spain versus VG, as Big Red Bird's going to be used up. A little bit of a mistake there from Lomanowski. His side just barely connect on the max range, but still will be able to jump his way out of that one. Still 5-0 for the members of Euro Elite, Benny.
Yeah, this mid lane is once again just doing really well. The duo of Churnwalker and Celeste is just having a great time right now.
Yeah, they're definitely.
So you see that first item, Eve of Harvest, on the side.
So I thought there was going to be a kill there. But yeah, so first item, Eve of Harvest, I think is because he's like so far ahead, he's just able to really sustain his lane. Because he's just going to be hitting down on those minions with the Heliogenesis. Really good sustain early on. As Gromshaw going to be rotating his way through, going to be able to barely miss the stuffed. He's not going to be able to find Panzer. Panzer going to be pulled back with the Torment, but still he's just going to be fine for the time being. And so will Panzer. Did have a little bit of a scare, and does that flask in a few seconds, but that's going to be the Trespass stun and a rotation by Mac Jack. Iron Cannon raining up through, barely going to be taken down, Cabez, but he makes it out alive nonetheless. 6-0, and they're very, very close, but still going over to the members of Euro Elite, and they're just completely shredding this early game.
Yeah, well, yeah, as you can see, Celeste 4.7k, Adagio 3.4k. It's just that weapon Adagio been paying off so far, and I can't see it really recovering much late game either against that Celeste, who's not even level 8 yet.
He's definitely. Wait, so I'm just trying to follow up on the chat. Sorry, apparently the sound was a little bit too high, but now we're going to have a 2-man core collapse. Finn cannot get stunned up though. We're still going to be able to work out for him, and actually just the leading star from the Solar Storm gets the kill, gets the stuffed on one valuable target there. It will be Cabez, but he's able to boot himself out of the turret range. And now Mac Jack is ready to join the fray and just force back Makles. So 8-0. Even though they had one opportunity to find a kill, they're just not able to find it quite yet. And it's just a team of Spain versus VG just not able to really find their marks in this mid lane position. Side lanes are pushing quite well, but except like other than that, they're just falling behind quite heavily.
Yeah, it's really crazy. What I'd like to see from Celeste is rotating to side lanes more, because right now the red side are doing pretty well, and Celeste, with all this gold, should be able to push out that lane really quick and then just go help out his bot laner and top laner in the side lanes, and then that will lead to stuff like a swing, which is up right now.
Okay, so right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are 9 minutes into the game, 8-0 for the side of of the Euro Elite team. Definitely leading pretty heavily with a goal lead of 4,000 to 5,000. Well, going towards 5,000 as soon as possible. Now we're going to be checking out the bot lane position. Those Thunder Strikes are starting to do quite a bit of damage on top of Lars. Not really able to respond in a positive manner because also it's just when you look at Jewel, she does have the heavy prism and the Eclipse prism. So that's the point of the game where Jewel starts to really ramp up the damage output. I think that like Jewel really comes together when she does have like that 2 tier 3 item power spikes, specifically the Shadow Glass paired up with the Spellfire. That's really a huge advantage. Down in mid lane, so the Storm going to be ripping on through, picks up the Adagio. Mako's going to be using the flask down to mid HP. And this turret actually might be going down, Binny. They have really nice sieging, and also Celeste is level 8. Hero Genesis is going to try and get that last kill, and it will be able to find it going once again over to Panzer. Dive from Reza.
So much damage.
Yeah, that's just, what can you do against Reza? And Reza's also not getting nerfed. He's not getting nerfed in 4.1.
Yeah, that's another one that wasn't getting nerfed.
God damn it, why? They're not banning, they're not nerfing Reza or Sanfeng. Why? they're nerfing Varia though.
It's just a bit bizarre, isn't it? But yeah, whilst that was all happening mid lane, Lance did pick up a solo kill onto the Baron. So since he's got to level 6, he's now started to win that 1v1 matchup. He's got a CS lead of about 15, and so yeah.
And we have the
Baron was doing well at the early levels, so Lance has now taken it.
Lomonosco going to be dived slowly by Lars. He's just going to be going the other way though. He's not really ready to commit to this fight quite yet. Mako's going to be using the boots. Just not really going to re-engage on Lars there, so he's just going to be kind of wasting that. And when we have a look at the top lane, Impale connects for the Lance, going to try and combat roll back and put him under turret, and he's going to be able to turn it around. 1v2, picks up 1 kill, loses the turret for his effort, but now Humanito, he is weapon Adagio. He's able to do quite a bit of damage, but nice rotation from Cabis and Panzer, able to shut him down. 2 kills go their way, but still, that's going to be 1 extra turret going over to the members of Spain versus VG. They're not that far ahead, so they definitely need a turret to try and get back ahead at this point. As Mikhails is going for a solo jungle invade, Binny.
Yeah, it's good heads-up play from him. Just realizing there was 3 people that rotated top side, so he's now going to be okay. That means there'll be a chance for me to steal that red buff away, which he's done well.
Oh my god! Absolute destruction!
So much damage.
Right now, have re-engaged from Mako's, gap closing right on top of Panzers and Cabis, but we're not really able to close that fight quite yet. So the Storm was already used up, cannot really reuse it quite yet for the next 40 seconds. Now the zoning from Celeste just absolutely insane, just can't deal with that at this point, Benny. They just can't get close, and Reza's just going to be looking for the dive. Troublemaker gets the fortified health, does get the extra damage, but unfortunately he's going to be missing out on that ultimate damage, not able to proc the fire starter damage. And now MacJack going to be the main focus of the enemy team, but Troublemaker going to be off of cooldown. It is off of cooldown. 3-man Impale. Oh my god, the CC chain was insane coming out from Bra. Cabis might be going down for his trouble. He does, but they will not be finding any extra kills for the members of Euro Elite. And that's going to be a triple kill going over for Brat on this weapon Lance, which is still insane. And also, Benny, Lance is not getting nerfed next update. Another hero that should get nerfed, in my opinion.
He's getting changed or something. They put it in the of that graph. It'll be interesting to see what they do to him.
Yeah, definitely want to try and check out. After on PvE right now, what they didn't actually give us the actual stats, what was getting changed, so that's very unfortunate. It's not information that we have. Impale does go down for the Lance, and he does also get the weapon buff. Double man force to call, paired up into the Quibble. But he's, wait a second, he's level 8 and didn't get stud on the Quibble. What ability are you overdriving? You overdrive this Polite Company, definitely not something you want to do. On that Finn, stuff does go down. Onto the Lance, going to be brought back over to Humanito. And he's going to be missing out on the combat roll. It is like, you can combat roll through the Dragon Pit walls. It's just really hard to actually
you can. You can also impale over certain parts of it.
Yeah, right there. Humanito going very, very low. But 1v4 is just a little bit too complicated for your boy Reza. Going to try and fall back onto Cabis. But Cabis is just way too tanky. And now Panzer is here to clean up the rise, ladies and gentlemen. The Sembril able to jump share his way to safety. Maybe not for too long, as Panzer does have the Solar Storm up and available. We'll be using it up there. The leading star does connect, but just not going to be quite enough. And he will be going down with just a little bit of HP remaining, as we are 40 minutes into the game, 22-4, going over to Euro Elite, and a goal lead of now 6,000 gold. Only 40 minutes in, that is definitely a goal lead. That now it's starting to be very, very worrying if you are on the side of Spain versus VG, Benny.
Yeah, but in that last fight, there were a couple of shutdowns picked up, so their actual difference has actually slightly got reduced, and they've now picked up a few kills. But this Celeste is still looking very scary at 15-0 minutes. Pretty. Now they are getting that go swing, and I'd like to see them either push a lane or go get that Black Claw and just force a fight, because they're so far ahead now, be getting objectives and looking to really end the game.
I think that right now they got this ghost string. They might even not need the Black Claw, to be honest. We are like at the point of the game where the respawn time is actually quite significant. So if they were to pick up one good fight, they got this ghost string buff, so that means they do extra 15% down on global turret, like on global objectives in general. And that will be able to allow them to really shut down that choke point mid lane turret, go for the armory, and probably just end the game in one clean sweep. As Mac is just going for a one-man dive. And able to put down Humanito down to mid-HP force. The core going to be missing out as they do hit the stun with the core collapse on top of the Grumshaw. He did get the stuff, but can it turn it around into a kill? Still a Storm ripping on through, and Panzer doing an insane amount of work. Cabby's going to be looking for the one-man dive. Quibble does hit once again, but the Quibble was still not overdrived by Samba, and that is one mistake that might actually cost you the game. He would have hit so many stuns in the last fight in the jungle, and they, like, just not having that for yourself is a big problem. Shenwalker going for the dive, taking quite a bit of damage. Just get taken down by the end, by the Jewel. And now just Brow, one-man army. Absolute mad lad, picking up the kill in the enemy base, and he will be able to combat his role way back to safety. They hit the core collapse on top of Baron. The last remaining wall between himself and the enemy armory. They do pick it up. Armory
I think they can end this. They've still got that Ghost Wing buff, which is healing them up slightly, and there's still good death timers on the mid lane and bot laner. Looks like they are going to back out, which is the safe call, because you've got a huge 1k shutdown on that Celeste, so if she gets picked up, that can be a turnaround possibility.
Yeah, definitely playing it safe is a nice thing. I've seen so many throws. I think, like, if you guys watch my streams, like, I have throws literally every day because people overstay. So definitely don't want to do that in a tournament. We'll say it is the king of the hill. Yeah. That means you lose and you're going home. But we are now 16 minutes into the game, 27-5. Slowly but surely increasing their gold lead. We are almost to a 10,000 gold lead advantage for the members of Euro Elite. So definitely something you cannot overlook. But as you mentioned earlier, there was a few shutdown coming out from the side of Spain versus VG. Every time you get shut down on a very valuable target, you get around 1,000 extra gold on your side. So since they updated the bounties, like, you can actually come back in a game if you're able to pick up good fights. But, like, at this point in time, I'm not really sure if we can see the side of Spain.
Yeah.
She come back in the fight. So
just Panzer has been positioning so well this game.
Yeah, Chumwalker's going to be going quite deep. They does get the two-man hook and chain. He's going to be on Samba. Samba just, unfortunately, a Finn. He's going to be actually lagging around quite a bit. That is actually buttery smooth right there. Feels good, man. George trying to pick up the 1v2. The big red button going to be a little bit delayed, and the Spellfire just not really getting enough tick damage on top of Lars and makes it out alive. But now we have a 2v3 engage coming out from Cabez and Panzer. Does get actually the stuff, so that's going to be nicely done by Michaels, but he's going to get picked up nonetheless by Cabez. Even though he's Shermulker, doing quite a bit of damage. Now one-on-one situation by Humanito and Bra. Humanito going to try and backport, but Humanito not really paying attention to his surroundings. Get them all, might be able to cancel out the ultimate. No need. Just runs out of it and re-engages. But now, that is the least of
They're just going for the end.
Yes, they're going to be indeed going just for the Vein Crystal and looking to claim game number 1 of this merciless battles tournament. Congratulations to Euro Elite smashing it in game 1.
Yeah, the Celeste and Churn Walker combo in that mid lane just completely took over the whole match. Like, the side lanes from them were actually in the favor of red side for a portion of that early game, but the mid lane, that 0-9 weapon powered Darjo, did not pay off. And so, yeah, it's going to be a good first win from the blue side here.
Yeah, GG to Euro Elite, as they are going to be continuing their way throughout the Merciless Battles tournament. Once again, we have the builds all here. Do you have anything that's kind of like surprising you in this game? I'm seeing Panzer score doing 20-0-6 on Celeste. I'm like, you had a pretty decent game. And he went for a build like this, like, not seen that often. It is a really good build. It depends on what scenario you're in, and if you did get ahead, which he did, he was completely owning his mid lane early on, which is surprising because he, like we said, how good a Darjo was going to be. I think CP Darjo, I think you agree with me on that one, Benny, that CP Darjo would have been way better for that laning phase, because also on your heal damage, the burn damage is like increased when you go CP. Didn't go for that, very unfortunately, but then like you got ahead, gone for the Eve of Harvest because they already does so much damage because he just got that huge gold lead and level advantage. He just didn't need that much of extra burst damage. He just went for the Eve, paired up them with the Broken Myth and the Dragon's Eye, and he was just completely smashing it. So congratulations
Yeah, I
to
don't
Panzer.
totally agree with the Dragon's Eye pick. I think Shatterglass in this situation would have been more effective because he's so far ahead. Shatterglass just gives him that straight up damage, and he would have just been melting him. But he's 20-0. He's so far ahead, and what he built at that stage, he was always just gonna
Can't argue
completely
with facts, you know.